Because when you begin to shift your energy to a higher place, Dr. Valerie Hunt writes it this way in her book, Infinite Wisdom. But I do not believe that man can perceive his godlike qualities until his field reaches higher and higher vibrations and attains a greater degree of coherency. No matter how hard we try to receive spiritual guidance, we cannot until our fields are attuned to that vibrational system. It's as you begin to banish the doubt, do what Sage did with the healing of these things that had been on her face for 3 years, and she'd do it in 3 days. As you begin to banish the doubt and come from a place of absolute knowing, that what happens is that you begin to, everything is vibration in this universe, and you begin to vibrate at a different speed. When you begin to see this and do this, it raises the frequency at which you vibrate, and as it does that, you send out a different kind of an energy. And as you send out this energy, it's sort of like the energy that St. Francis speaks about in his famous prayer, Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace. He doesn't say, Lord, I don't have any peace, please bring me some peace. He said, make me an instrument of thy peace. Where there is hatred, let me bring love. Where there is darkness, let me bring light. In other words, you take the darkness, and instead of trying to abolish it or remove it from your life, you convert it through this process of transformation. And in this process, darkness turns to light, hatred turns to love. And I had a momentary experience of being about to collapse with someone on the back of my shoulders who was injured. And St. Francis appeared in just 5 seconds to me, just went like this. And this knee that was about to be, I had had MRIs done on it, and it was going to be replaced, was healed in that moment. And I carried this man up 3 stairs to where the Poor Clares were in San Damiano in Italy. It all happened in a moment. And I was shifting the awareness and having this absolute knowing within that I am a piece of infinite consciousness, and there's absolutely nothing that has ever happened or ever will happen that I'm not capable of, because who I am is that. There's no place that I am not. So I still had a great deal of skepticism 4 or 5 years ago. I had been diagnosed with leukemia. Some of the effects were starting to show. I was getting the night sweats. I was getting the bruising in my body. My energy was low. I had to quit doing yoga. I had to slow down. I used to run every day. I couldn't run anymore. I could barely walk. I was getting weaker. My kids noticed it. I noticed it. I saw deterioration taking place. Today, this morning, I was up at 4:45. I already meditated for an hour. I've ran for a half an hour this morning. I did a coffee, and if you want to join me for coffee, I did a little coffee in the morning. And when this is over, I'm going with Cal, who's taken me over to a place because they don't have a pool at the hotel I'm staying at, but I'm going to go do an hour swim. And I have more energy than I can ever remember ever having had in my life. This burning desire thing is really important. I mean, when you read Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill, he speaks about the difference between people who live an enriched life and people who don't. He said the only thing that distinguishes this group from this group, highly functioning people from ordinary people, is that these people have a burning desire to do something, and they are willing and determined and fearlessly applying it in their life. They don't listen to anybody else tell them what can or can't be done. So I've believed what Tilopa said back in the 10th century, have a mind that's open to everything and attached to nothing, attached nowhere.
And Neville also said, therefore, to incarnate a new and a greater value of yourself, you must assume that you already are what you want to be, and then live by faith in this assumption. Now, this flies in the face of so much of what you've been told, because you have a tendency to believe that what your eyes and ears tell you is reality. But this is what we know by our senses. Just this little tiny fragment. I can't even get, it's like a millionth of a millimeter. And all that is unknown is in the invisible, in the imagination. And most of our attention is focused on, this is my beliefs and my disbeliefs about what is possible and what isn't possible are here. And it's an endless universe.